Welcome to the Bourbon Band. I'm Phil.
I'm Julie, and supposedly this is the best whiskey of the year.
Skeptical. Today, we're trying something that I actually didn't think we'd ever get a chance to try. Jim Murray's Whiskey Bible, the latest version, 2021, came out in September of 2020. This bottle was a little bit of an upset for people. A Canadian rye whiskey taking number one overall was a huge shock for a lot of people. And
It's so nice up there.
yeah, Alberta's great. And there are 4 criteria in order to be named Whiskey of the Year for the Whiskey Bible: nose, taste, finish, and balance. Each criteria is scored out of 25 points, and so that's how this bottle came out on top. There is stiff competition every year, but it's basically 1,000-ish newly released whiskeys and previously obscure whiskeys from year to year that he tries, up to around 4,000 whiskeys every single year to find that best whiskey. Sounds like a pretty good job to me.
I was gonna say, that's doesn't seem like too big of a
I
hardship.
think we could handle that, yeah. If you need any apprentices, let us know, Jim. In the Whiskey Bible 2021, he has a lot to say about this particular whiskey. He says, Alberta Premium Cask Strength Rye has a delivery that, quote, should be exhibited at the Museum of Canada because even the smallest mouthful simply ejaculates the most rampant toasty rye notes known to mankind. He continues. The sure-footed elegance of the oaky vanillas and the tannin-stained spices lead to, quote, the most chewable Canadian mouthful possibly ever. The result is truly world-class whiskey from possibly the world's most underrated distillery. How can something be so immense yet equally delicate? For any whiskey lover on the planet looking for huge but nearly perfectly balanced experience, then here you go. And with rye at its most rampantly beautiful, this is something to truly worship. Well, I'm excited.
Yeah, it's an interesting take.
Yeah. Yeah. Dare I say it, I'm aroused. Well,
You shouldn't.
so it comes in a box. I'm not a big fan of whiskey
No,
that comes in a box,
I know.
but in this instance, let me just say this, that any whiskey that's going to ejaculate in my mouth better come
Oh gosh.
from a handsome package.
Oh boy. We really got off the rails here.
Sorry, everybody. So let's check this out. Alberta Premium Cask Strength Rye. Here we have the box that it comes in. Well, it's easy enough to open. That's a 1 point right off the bat. And here we go. This obviously has already been opened. We wanted to let it breathe a little bit. We wanted to make sure that this was not a neck pour. We wanted it to be oxygenated and ready to drink.
This bottle reminds me of a 1970s chandelier that used to hang in my grandparents' home. So, kudos.
Yeah, it's a real
Even the
swinging
color
style.
is right. Even the color is right.
What do you think? Do you want to handle the cork pop on this one? We love to hear a cork pop from these nice bottles. It's one way that I like to grade a bottle is the cork pop.
All right, ready for it?
Yeah, I'm ready for the cork pop. Yeah, that's screw top. That's a,
Hey, they say, at least in, with wine, it doesn't matter if it's a screw or a cork.
sure, that's a $65 cork pop. There you have it. The 2021 Whiskey of the Year is a screw top. Well, I'm not going to judge it, and we don't really need it open because we've already poured these. Again, this is a cask strength whiskey. This is 132.
Yeah,
132 proof. Good grief.
We're getting up
Okay,
there.
well, we just keep trying high proof whiskeys. So I think we're ready to go in and check out the nose.
Oh,
Cheers.
yeah, sorry.
Why not? Of course.
You have to.
Well, that smells like rye whiskey. There's a lot of oak here. There's more vanilla than I would typically expect from a rye spice all over this, for sure. Really sweet.
It does have
though.
kind of a sweet nose to it.
Yeah, nothing's really jumping out of the glass except for a little bit of wood, a little bit of vanilla, the rye spice, obviously. The interesting thing about this is it's 132 proof and it doesn't smell like 132 proof. So there she goes.
Ooh, ooh, wow. This is good. Whoa, that was surprising.
Yeah, I didn't expect there to be so much caramel on there. Caramel and vanilla, it's almost like candies. It's really sugary, really sweet.
Wow, it is really sugary. It almost tastes like a crystallized sugar. It's just like a pure sweetness that I'm getting.
Yeah, that crystallized sugar.
Sugar is a pure sweetness, but
You're absolutely right about that, though. And sometimes you do get that. A lot of times with a really good rye, especially, you get that sort of crystallized sugar that makes your tongue tingle. That's definitely happening here. There's a little chocolate here, too. It's almost like a really high quality chocolate candy bar with the vanilla and maybe a little caramel in it.
yeah.
Even the chocolate itself is super sweet. It's not bitter at all.
It's a bit of a party in my mouth. I'm just saying, like, from the nose, you were just getting like a sweet oakiness to it.
Yes.
But man, it's delicious.
It is delicious.
The vanilla over here and a little bit of oakiness over here and a little bit of chocolate over here. I like it.
There's some fruit here too, and I wanted to say blueberry at first, maybe blackberry or something like that. The nose is opening up. There's more fruit in the nose now. On the palate, it's like a blackberry, some sort of dark, nice, sweet fruit like that.
It's a nice deep flavor. I think that must be like that chocolatey. It's not like a milk chocolate. It's like a darker chocolate, oak barrel. Those rye spices are coming in. Really smooth. All of a sudden I realized it's 132 proof, and woo, is this one smooth. This is another dangerous one.
Super dangerous. The charred oak barrel that this gets aged in is really doing a lovely job here. It's aged for about 5 years. I would not expect this type of smoothness from a 5-year-old rye whiskey at this proof. That's astounding.
Well, and we didn't know, I was gonna say we knew it was gonna be good, but we figured it's gonna be good if it won the #1, not just rye, but whiskey of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, that includes Scotch, Irish whiskey,
Oh, wow.
rye whiskeys, bourbon, American, Canadian whiskey, everything. That's why this was such a huge win. To knock out everything else, it's a big deal.
I'm pleasantly surprised by how delicious this is, and I wish it was easier to get because it's really smooth, super flavorful. It's different than any rye that I think I've tasted. I mean, we've had some really delicious ryes recently.
Yeah.
This is up, like,
This
is good. I mean, I can't be a judge of, what's the best whiskey of the year, but
It's super good. Just one note on the finish, now that we're sitting with it for a while, it's this really lovely like vanilla that you get on the tail end of a baked good, like a really good cake or something like that, like while the cake is still like a little bit warm.
But those like spices kind of linger. It's got a really nice finish.
It is viscous. I mean, great legs, medium bodied, but it sticks. What more can you ask for? Well, there's even maybe a little maple syrup in there. It would have to be. It's Canadian.
I love maple syrup. The more you drink it too, the more you drink it too, the more those rye spices are coming up. I didn't get a ton of rye spice on my first couple sips, but now that I've been sitting it for a little bit, those rye spices are kind of kicking in.
And the heat does build, as you would expect.
It does,
but it's still comfortable. It's not astringent or tough to drink or brutal in any way.
So I don't think this tastes anything like anything we have in our collection, right?
There is one bottle that this reminds me of. And the thing is, I don't think that the bottle that I'm thinking of was out when this was reviewed, and I don't know how highly it would have finished anyways. The bottle that this reminds me of is this Jack Daniel's single barrel special release 2020 barrel proof rye. In my opinion, the difference is that there are brighter flavors in the Canadian rye. And in the Tennessee rye, it's depth. There's raisins and richer flavors. And I'll be honest, this Jack Daniel's rye is currently my favorite rye.
Yeah.
They're both high proof killers. They're both wonderful.
I haven't had the rye yet, but I know that you really like it.
Yeah.
So
It's both $65. The Jack Daniel's, I believe, is 6 or 7 years aged, so a little older, and a single barrel. So of course there will be some variance, but I love that whiskey.
yeah, I don't have any negative comments to say about this. Not that I ever have anything. Well, sometimes I have negative comments.
Every once in a while.
Every once in a while. I guess the worst I could say is that the nose is not great on this one, but the taste and the finish, stellar. You should go out and get it. If you can.
Totally agree with you on the nose. The nose is deceptive on this. You don't know that you're about to get completely overwhelmed with tons of flavor.
Yeah.
I'm going to put this back on the shelf. We're going to do this
Someday.
comparison. We're going to do this comparison at some point. I just want to have a good time.
He does.
Yeah, we're not going to do any kind of valuation. It is a $65, 132 proof Canadian rye whiskey that we're really enjoying. In my opinion, totally worth every dollar that we spent on it. I think it's great.
I would agree. I think it's worth the $65 price point. Delicious, really flavorful. Is it the #1 whiskey of the year? I don't know. I can't judge that stuff.
In my personal opinion, I wouldn't call this the whiskey of the year.
Yeah.
I would say that this is exceptionally good, worthy of the top shelf here. But even for this year, it's not, at this moment, it's not even my favorite rye.
And we'll probably do it a little bit backwards, but I'd be interested to revisit this towards the end of 2021 in a little bit of a blind taste to see where it stacks, because I can see this doing really well. I mean, really, really well. The flavorfulness, the ease of drinking.
Yeah.
I like the rye spices, and maybe it does go to #1. Who knows? I mean,
Can I tell you what finished second this year?
it beat out the Stag? Wow.
It's beat out literally everything.
Well, I guess
And
#1 you had to beat everybody, but
if we're being fully honest right now,
that's shocking.
this is our fafavorite bottle, is it not?
Oh, I love it.
In my mind, this is absolutely the whiskey of
If
the year.
all, because that's what
131?
130. So if all 130 plus proof drank like these two bottles, I'd be hanging up my Four Roses Yellow label.
Yeah, that Stag is absolutely stellar. As far as I'm concerned, that's my winner. But
Yeah.
the interesting thing is, Jim Murray's Whiskey Bible, his picks over the years, we're not big on Scotch, or we're not huge Irish whiskey fans, although we like what we like. The thing is, he picked this #1 this year. We love this. He picked Stag #2 this year. We absolutely love that. Pikesville was his best rye aged for 10 years or less for 2 years running. We love that one. 1792 Full Proof was his bottle of the year for 2020.
Yeah.
And I've been absolutely obsessed with that one lately. So, like him or not, his flavor profile seems to be aligned pretty well with ours. So I think I need to take a closer look at those whiskey Bibles from years past. Make sure we're not missing anything.
I'm sure we're missing a ton. But let me also say that I know we were giving the screw top a little bit of a hard time at the beginning. It's perfect for van life, though. So, can't go wrong with a screw top.
Let's get a case of it. Sure. However we can. This is fantastic. Would love to know, have you tried it? What'd you think of it? Cask Strength Ryes. I've been asking this on a few videos lately. Recommendations. If you got stuff that you love, Sagamore Spirit Cask Strength Rye, we've got that on the shelf. We haven't done a review of that just yet.
I can't believe how much I'm enjoying the ryes.
Yeah?
I mean,
You've come a long ways in 2 months.
I know, but between that and the Pikesville, I mean, just some of these ryes, they're just really enjoying. Could be the winter.
It is
a
a
little
winter
spicier.
drink. This tastes like very cozy campfire in wintertime, for sure. I love it. You love it?
I do. I really love it.
We love it.
Let us know your thoughts on this. We'd love to hear from you. So as always, like, comment, and subscribe.
And hit that bell so you never miss a video notification from us and from wherever we are.
To wherever you are.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yum.
It's ridiculous.
Cinnamon.